All right, now we can get started. Thanks everyone for joining us today. I am Chris Poplin. I'm the executive director here at Reach Out and Read Minnesota, and we were so excited to see so many people interested in this topic. We would love it if you could introduce yourself using the chat feature. Just as a reminder, I know we're probably all semi-experts on Zoom, but when you're in a webinar and you want to use the chat feature, if you can click that little drop-down menu to where it says everyone. Otherwise, when you introduce yourself in the chat, it will default to only the host and the panelist. So just make sure you click everyone. And then if you could introduce yourself in the chat, we'd love to hear, obviously, your name, your organization, or why you're here, why you're interested in this topic of music and early childhood and early learning. And then for fun, we'd love to hear if you can share either like a song that you remember singing as a child, or if you have children in your life, which most of you probably do, a favorite song that you might like to sing with them. And let's see, for me, I have two daughters, and for my 8-year-old, her lullaby is "You Are My Sunshine." My older daughter has another lullaby that's like very pieced together, but for my 8-year-old, it's "You Are My Sunshine," and she still lets me sing it to her at night. And I know she won't always let me sing it to her, so I just try to take advantage of that time now while she's still 8. Um, so
Chris,
and we're
sorry to
hoping,
interrupt.
yeah,
Just the everyone function or section on the
yep.
chat is not popping up for me, and
Oh,
I'm sure that is probably not showing up for others as well.
It's
So
not
if
showing
we
up
can
for me
just
either, Liam.
change that setting.
all right. Let me go to that setting.
And
Uh,
hi everyone, I'm Gigi Chawla, the medical director of Reach Out and Read Minnesota. Thanks for joining. And my favorite song to sing with, I have two adult daughters now, and we still sing Disney songs together. That was something we always did in the car, and we still do in the car. So if we can't get the everyone option working, and you still send us your information, we will pipe them up for you.
yes. Thank you, Gigi. We will get those. We will get them into the chat. I will I'll keep going for now, and then because I can't easily change the setting here on my screen, but I will work on it once I'm able to introduce the Jessica, our keynote today. So thanks for calling that out, Liam. I did not realize that, but please keep introducing yourself because it at least helps our panelists to be able to see who you are. And then we were hoping that if you've joined us before for one of these events, we always save time for Q&A at the end. And so we're hoping that you have questions for our panelist or for Dr. Chawla, our medical director, and that you will put them in the Q&A section. That just helps us to keep those separated to make sure those are available to us for the Q&A section at the end. So we had a lot of new names. I wish I could say faces, but we can't see you guys. But we had a lot of new folks sign up for this webinar. So just wanted to do a very quick introduction of who we are. Reach Out and Read Minnesota. Our mission is we seek to give young children a foundation for success through the powerful effects of reading and sharing a story with a loved one. So we do that. We have 294 clinics around Minnesota that we work with. And as you can see from the infographic, at each well-child visit that a child goes to, a doctor comes in or a medical provider comes in with a brand new developmentally appropriate book, culturally appropriate book, and uses the book to provide as a tool to provide guidance around reading, talking, and singing, of course, which we're focused on today. And so the family at each visit goes home with this brand new book and this guidance around reading, talking, and singing together with their kids. And then this repeats itself over and over again until the child turns 5 years old. We've been around a long time. We have a lot of peer-reviewed research that supports our program. And I know there's people joining us from outside Minnesota today. Reach Out and Read is a national program. And we have 28, I think, affiliates around the country. So I just encourage you, if you want to learn more about us as an organization, to check out our website and learn more. Just a quick thank you to Health Partners. Health Partners is our 2023-2024 executive partner, and they also lead our Little Moments Count initiative. I know we have quite a few Little Moments Count affiliates that are on this call today, so welcome. And before I introduce our speaker, we wanted to share with you some of our favorite musical books that we provide to our many, many clinics and families. So the ones at the top are from All About Books, one of our vendors, All About Books, and the ones at the bottom are from Books for School, which is another of our vendors. And for those of you, the audience, if you are interested in getting your hands on any of these books, we work with these fabulous vendors, All About Books and Books for School, to get books at a low cost for our clinics. And we'd love to share their information with you if you're interested in getting in touch to purchase these books for yourself. All right. I am excited to turn it over here. I'm going to do an introduction of our keynote. Jessica Lee. So as a director of ensemble music, Jessica brings a depth of experience to her role as a Music Together director, teacher, performer, and parent. For the past 20 years, she has created a nurturing environment for musical exploration, playfulness, and skill building for her students, families, and teachers. She completed her initial music training together in the spring of 2000 and founded Ensemble Music a year later. She completed her certification level 2 in March of 2009 and represents Music Together as a conference presenter nationally. She's also been a member of the Directors Leadership Group since May of 2006. She is a board certified music therapist and has the opportunity to work with many diverse populations, ranging from hard of hearing children to hospice patients. She currently works part-time at the University of Minnesota Masonic Children's Hospital on the Child Adolescent Inpatient Behavioral Unit. Proficient in voice, piano, guitar, saxophone, and dance, she's also learned the basic fundamentals in all other instrumental areas. As a mother of 3, Jessica knows firsthand about the joys and challenges of parenthood. Her energetic, accepting style of teaching is sure to make you and your children feel welcome. She feels fortunate to have found Music Together and says she truly looks forward to teaching each and every day. All right, Jessica, I'm going to let you take it away.
Actually, you can go to the next slide right
All
away.
right.
So I'm going to ask you, we're going to get moving right off the bat. Hello, everybody. So glad to see you. Hello, everybody. So glad to see you. Hello to the healthcare providers. So glad to see you. Hello to the librarians. So glad to see you too. Hello to the parents. So glad to see you. Hello to the administrators. So glad to see you too. Hello, I'm Jessica. So glad to see you. Hello, everybody. We're so glad to see you. Well, hello and good afternoon. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to be with us here. Thank you for that nice introduction. I'm excited to be here and talk about the role of music in early learning. I hope to not only give you a better understanding of why music is so important in early learning, but also how you can use music to support our earliest learners. Before we do that, I want to talk about a common misconception about making music. Do the next slide there. A lot of times people think that music is left for just the talented. You have to have some degree of talent in order to do music. And that is not the case. Research shows us that children learn from music engagement, not music talent. So it doesn't matter if you can sing in tune or keep an accurate beat to do music with children. They're learning just simply by watching you and enjoy music and engage with them. So that's a really important thing to remember. You don't have to sing in tune and keep a beat to do music. Can go to the next slide there. So what is it about music? I'm sure we have all seen it. Music comes on and children start bouncing and rocking, vocalizing. It's almost instantaneous. Children have this natural connection to music. Well, research has shown us that all children are born musical. Even from birth, infants will coo and cry to the relationship, to the relation of the pitches that they're hearing. Even a hum of a room, they connect to that. As children get older, we see children running to the beat of the music. Naturally, it just automatically happens. Just like there are stages in development, like infancy to toddler, walking and talking, music development in children also has stages and milestones. And why we don't have time to get into all of that, I wanted to tell you that because it really is one of the big whys of music. Children are born to respond to music. They are wired for it. So we're wired for it, but why is it so good? Next slide, please. Research, there's so much research that shows us this, that music supports all learning. When we look at the different domains that it covers, cognitive development, our executive functioning skills, emerging math skills, language and literacy, vocabulary development, our expressive language, coordination of breath and speech. We look at music supporting social emotional development, supports self-regulation and self-confidence, leadership skills. And we look how music supports physical development, our gross and fine motor skills, locomotor and non-locomotor skills, spatial awareness, and daily movement activities like dancing that are fun helps our children stay healthy. So we know we're all born musical, we're wired to respond to it, and we know it's good for us. I did in the handouts, there's talks more about covering how music supports those domains. So I think that got to you at some point, or will get to you at some point. So there's more on that in that handout. But we know we're wired for it. We know it's good for us, but why? Why does music work? Music is one of the most integrated skills we have. We use our voices, our listening skills, our emotions, our spatial reasoning, our language and motor skills. It is one of the most intense, multi-sensory, physically involving activities, which we can do with children. Music lights up the whole brain. Next slide, please. This is a picture of a brain. You can see where it's all lit up. But what's really important about the way that music lights up our brain is that there's a big difference between actively making music and just listening to music. When we take a look at functional MRIs of a musician playing an instrument like a violin versus someone who's passively listening to music, the one where the person is actively making music, that's where we see all this lit up lights in the brain. While listening to music is still beneficial, it just isn't as, our brain doesn't light up as much as we do when we're actively making music. So we can go on to the next one. I'm going a little bit deeper into the benefits of active music making and how it specifically supports literacy. Well, stringing actions together to form sequences is similar to linking words to form sentences. Actively experience the rhythm of words and sentences helps children find the rhythm. They hear and they feel the rhythm of the words. When children demonstrate the meaning of words physically, their understanding of the words is immediate and long-lasting. When children depict words such as smooth and enormous and stomp, the words have more relevance than if they were part of a vocabulary or spelling test. Adverbs and adjectives become much more than abstract concepts. When children perform a slow walk or skip lightly, they learn the meaning of the word both in their bodies, but also in their mind. And keeping a steady beat has been linked by research to show a readiness to learn math. Active music making uses the whole body. And while music does not make us smarter, it opens up more pathways to which can in turn make learning easier. All right, so we've answered 2 whys and a how of music. the why children respond to music, because they're born musical and they're wired for it. Why is music good? Because it supports all learning. And how it works, active music making uses all of our brain. But what about the how? How do we do music with children? Next slide, please. The first thing we have to do is create the right environment. We know that children learn best through play and repetition. And research shows us that children learn best when they are in a free from direct instruction and performance pressure, when the environment has activities that are accessible, interesting for both the children and the adults that they are with. So really making music playful. Sometimes the kids might sing with you, sometimes they're just going to sit and watch, and that's okay. They're still absorbing. We have classes and sometimes the kids will do nothing, but as soon as they leave the classroom, I hear from the parents, they sing all the way home. You can think of them kind of being on record in class or in a situation where you're singing, and then they go home and they practice it. So we want to keep music fun and playful. So I'm going to move on to some activities on how you can use music. Hopefully you can get music going with who you work with, and you're probably going to wonder where I'm using my music from. Next slide, please. I'm trained in Music Together. That's the curriculum that I use. I like it because it's research-based with ongoing research, but there are many other great early childhood music programs. There's lots of great early child music out there. But I wanted to give you something that you could use today. So I'm using the songs from Family Favorites and Family Favorites 2. And they're also, Music Together has a free app called Music Together app, and it comes loaded with the songs that I'm going to do for you today. So that is all readily accessible. All right. So I just want to go back to the hello song. Why did I do the hello song? Well, for a few reasons. Settle in and pause, take a breath. People were coming from whatever they were doing for their lunch hour and rushing there. If you sang with me, you probably had to take a deeper breath, bringing more oxygen into your body, letting you relax. If you thought I was ridiculous, maybe you laughed, but you still also took in some air and got more oxygen into your body and probably feel a little more relaxed. This is the same for children, giving them time to settle in, calm their bodies, focus better. Greeting song really can help establish a ritual song, like a hello or goodbye song, can give children the extra time that they need to come in. It provides something that is predictable and routine and could make some of these transitions easier. Another reason I like to do a hello song is it's a great opportunity for assessment and checking in to see where children are. Hello, how are you today? So glad to see you. We can sing hello to the people in the room and the things in the room. We can sing hello to toes and eyes and knees as an assessment. Do they know where those things are? Hello, where are your toes? So glad to see you. Hello, where's your elbow? So glad to see you too. So it's just a great way to lighten the mood, especially if children are coming into an appointment that they might be feeling anxious about or it's scary. Providing a greeting song can really just set a tone for to ease into that transition, that situation. The hello song also comes in a book, and it's great. You can sing it as is and look at the pictures, but it's also beyond singing just through the book as it is. It's a great way to take a song and use it as a seek and find. I'm hoping you can see this. Hello, where's the bunny? Oh, he's right there. So glad to see you. Hello, can you find some polka dots? Oh, polka dots. So glad to see you too. Hello, where's the bird? Oh, way up here. So glad to see you. Hello, where's a circle? You're right, it's right here. So glad to see you too. So really taking away from just the words that are in the book, but using the pictures to sing about concepts and having them find things is another great way to use the Hello Song book. All right, so some more songs. Let's do the next slide, please. So the song is called Bitty Bitty. It is a great example of supporting emerging language skills. And hopefully you'll sing with me. Bitty bitty bum 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 bum, bitty bitty bum bum ba-dum ba-dum, bitty bitty bum 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 bum, bitty bitty bum bum ba-dum ba-da. Mama 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 do 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 do. A moo 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 moo. Moo 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 moo. Oh bitty bitty bum 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 bum, bitty bitty bum bum ba-dum ba-dum, bitty bitty bum 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 bum, bitty bitty bum bum ba-dum ba-dum. So bitty bitty we call a song without words, or we use vocables. And this does a few different things. It allows the children an opportunity to just process the music of the song without being caught up in the vocabulary. But it also provides a great experience for when it's sung in words and the phonemes that are in a child's language. They're more likely to join in singing because it's more accessible. You know, some language sounds are difficult, and pairing those with music can make it easier and much more fun to learn. So changing the words to sounds that the young ones are making, dada, mama, animal sounds are a great way to get children engaged to sing. We just want to make it the most accessible as possible. And it doesn't have to be this song. It can be any song that you know, taking the words out and replacing them with sounds, animal sounds. It just makes it more accessible and beneficial for the children that you're singing with. You can, other things with this, you can go to the body parts, fingers, 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 elbows, elbows, lots of ways you can take this. All right, we're going to move on to the next song. So riding in the car. Start your engines. We're going to go for a car ride. What's the first thing you do when you get in the car? Put on your seatbelt, that's right, click. What should we do next? We're all clicked in. Should we start our engines? Everyone's car is working. Check your horn. Beep, 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 beep. Everyone ready? Here we go. Zoom, zoom, riding in the car. Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. Zoom, zoom, riding in the car. We're going out today. Vroom, vroom, driving in the car. Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. Zoom, zoom, riding in the car. We're going out today. Turn, turn, turn in the car. Hold on, hold on. Turn, turn, turn in the car. You better hold on today. Sing, sing, singing in the car. La, 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 la. Sing, sing, singing in the car. La, 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 la. What else do you do in the car? Eat, 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 eating in the car. Yum, 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 yum. Eat, eat, eating in the car. Yum, 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 yum. What else do you do in the car? Oh, you wave to your friends. Wave, wave, waving to your friends. Hi there, hi there, hi there, hi there. Wave, wave, waving to your friends. Hi there, hi there, hi there. So that's one way you can use riding in the car, the sequencing of the events of what happens when you get in the car, first, second, third, taking suggestions of accept and include what you do in the car. Can give those cognitive flexibility. When I ask children, what do you do in the car? Well, I've got I swim in the car. Okay, yes, absolutely, accept and include. Taking turns for asking for suggestions. There's that impulse control of waiting for their turn. Another couple things that you can do with this song as a large movement. I'm not going to get up because I don't know how to adjust. You can still see me. But you can get this up, you know. Fly, fly, flying in a plane. Zoom, 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 zoom. Fly, fly, flying in the plane. Zoom, 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 zoom. Jump, jump, jumping like a kangaroo. Boing, 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 boing. Jump, jump, jumping like a kangaroo. Boing, 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 boing. So lots of opportunities to change it up for that. Also, this one is a great one. You're riding in the car. Where are we going? Where do you want to go? Zoom, zoom, driving to the library. Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. Zoom, zoom, driving to the grocery store. We're going out today. So just using that, it's also great transitions. Wash, wash, washing your hands. Scrubby, 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 scrubby. So lots of ways to change the words to get children to do something they may not want to be doing. And to speak to that just a little bit, we always have these, like, I call them back pocket songs. So in those moments when children are having a difficult time, whether they don't want to put their shoes on or don't want to get in the car seat or just being 2-year-olds, being able to pull out a song to sing can really, it gets their attention. For you, it makes you pause to take a breath, which might just de-stress a little bit. But a lot of times we can use those back pocket songs with the words to get them to put their shoes on or wash their hands or whatever. What else about riding in the car? Well, riding in the car also has a storybook. And you can sing through it. All the lyrics are in there, and you can sing straight through it. But I think this book song is great for, like, you could turn it into a social story, like a sequencing. So we're going zoom, zoom, riding in the car. Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. Zoom, zoom, riding in the car. We're going out today. What do you think happens next? You think he's gonna eat his cereal? Munch, munch, munching on the cereal. Yum, 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 yum. Munch, munch, munching on the cereal. Yum, 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 yum. What else do you think happens next? You think they get in the car? Let's turn the page and see. They did. Zoom, zoom, now they're riding in the car. Zoom, 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 zoom. They're riding in the car, going out today. You can go on with, where do you think they're going? Are there any hints in the picture? Lots of things that you can ask from books, but when you're singing too, for different ideas than just what the lyrics are to the song. Social stories, there's a study done by Dr. Schwartzberg and Dr. Silverman. Dr. Silverman is the music professor at University of Minnesota. And they did a study on the effects of social stories that were sung rather than read. The study was specifically with children on the autism spectrum disorder, but they showed that the children exhibited better retention of social skills taught through the social stories that were sung over those that were read. So another yummy thing about music, it just helps other things. All right, what's next? Let's check the next. All right, This Train. I'm gonna guess you have all heard this song, and so I hope you're singing along. What do I have? Oh, physical development. So This Train, imagine I'm getting up, but you can totally do the song and be so beneficial if you just were sitting still and never got up off the ground. This train could be clapping their hands and rocking. So you do not have to do it just as a large movement. Chunk, 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 chunk. This train is bound for glory. This train is bound for glory. This train is bound for glory. Children, get on board. This train is standing on up now. This train is standing on up now. This train is standing on up now. Children, get on board. This train is flying like an eagle. This train is flying like an eagle. This train is flying like an eagle. Children, get on board. This train is stretching up like a tree. This train is stretching up like a tree. This train is stretching up like a tree. Children, get on board. This train is sneaking like a mouse. This train is sneaking like a mouse. This train is sneaking like a mouse. Children, get on board. The lots of different things, ways to move. You know, this train is jumping. This train is spinning. Watching what are the kids doing, taking in their examples, trying on what they're doing. This is a fun one to change up your speed. This train is going up a hill. This train is going up a hill. And you get to the top, and of course, this train is going down the hill. This train is going down the hill. So mixing it up that way too. We're going fast and slow. All the things that the children are learning with a large motor dance song like this, the balance, the gross motor, the spatial awareness. Also just the words that we use when we are moving, you know, like flying. If I just said flying, it's different flying like an eagle versus flying like a robin. That feels and looks different. And when they get to experience that in their whole body, they learn it both in their body and in their minds. And when you put in words, I didn't really throw any in there, like enormous or smooth, it helps. They learn it more, but it becomes more relevant than if they just have to have it in a vocabulary or test or spelling test. When you're using your whole body to describe things, children learn better. This is another really great back pocket song for transitions. This train is putting on our shoes. This train is brushing our teeth. So many things. Yeah, so I hope you're beginning to see how you might adapt and change songs to be more useful in your work. And this can be done with any song or book. If you think of like Brown Bear. Brown bear, what do you see? I see a red bird looking at me. You could sing through that book easy with Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. Everyone tends to know Wheels on the Bus. Wings on a bird go flap, 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 flap. The wings on a bird go flap, 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 all through the sky. Or if you want to do some concept teaching, the color of my shirt is black, black, black. Black, 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 black. The color of my shirt is black, black, black. That's what I'm wearing today. And if you're like in a classroom setting or something, another way to like combine the concepts with large movement. All those wearing blue, please stand up, please stand up, please stand up, and so on. There's a lot of ways to change the words musically to help our children learn more and experience more and get them to do things easier a lot of time. All right. How are we doing on time here? Okay. Splishing and splashing. There was a lot I talked before just about the rhythm of words and how children feel it. And it equates to being able to read and it's sticky. All right. So here's a chant. Splish, splash, splish, splash, splish, splash, splish, splash. Oh, I like to sit in a nice hot tub, splishing and splashing and splishing and splashing, and I like to walk in the rain and the mud, splishing and splashing and splishing and splashing, and I like to play washing dishes in the sink, splishing and splashing and splishing and splashing, and I like to watch while my doggy takes a drink. Whoop, splishing and splashing and splishing and splashing. Splish, splash, splish, splash. What if it was a teeny tiny dog? like to play washing dishes and I like to watch while my doggy takes a nap. Of course, then you do the big dog woof, for that contrast. Also, something about children's music development, using little voices like in a big dog helps our children maintain the flexibility in their vocal cords. As we get older, if we don't use our full range, the ends get stiffer and it's harder to hit those high notes and low notes. So simply being silly with the kids helps their vocal cords. And other things you could do with splishing and splashing. Of course, you could get up and jump in the puddles. Are they little puddles? Are they big puddles? Again, those ADLs, the active living skills, you know, oh, I like to wash my hands to get them clean. Scrubbing and scrubbing and scrubbing and scrubbing. Moving beyond, you could become things. Oh, I like to stomp like a big dinosaur, stomping and stomping and stomping and stomping. Kids love dinosaurs, but also that stomping on the floor is great sensory feedback for grounding. All sorts of fun things that you can mix in outside of just what is written in the song. I'm going to throw this one in there, and then I want to make sure we have time for questions. We read to our children, and a lot of times some of the books are very rhythmic. They have a beat to them, and because the kids want to look at the picture, we kind of have to stop and we lose the rhythm. This is an example of something you can do to keep that rhythm going, to allow the children an opportunity, long enough time to look at the pictures. This is in the Tall, Tall Grass by Denise Fleming. I also have in A Small, Small Pond. I love both of them very much. But this is a way you could do it. In the tall, tall grass, strum, drum, bees hum, strum, dum, drum, bees hum, buzz, 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 strum, drum, bees hum, drum, drum, bees hum, crack, snap, wings flap, crack, snap, wings flap, crack, snap, wings flap. And then when you think they've had enough time to explore it, you can just go on to the next one. Pull, tug, ants, lug. But keeping that rhythm is a fun way to hone in on those, keeping a rhythm, but also not losing the beat of the song because the kids want to look at the picture longer. So that is another fun little book that I like. It's Mary Had a Little Jam. It does just funny, redoes nursery rhymes in a really funny way, and has great pictures. This is one of them. Row, row, row your boat gently round the lake. Don't stand up and rock the boat. That's a big mistake. So it just changes them to be really funny. The kids like this one a lot as well. What are we? Okay. Guess I can throw another song in there. I'm going to give you one that's a little slower. Who, who? Do you have your owl's eyes on today? Who? One little owl said, who? Two little owls said, who? Three little owls said, who? As they sat in the old oak tree. One little crow said, caw. Two little crows said, caw. 3 little crows said caw, caw, as they sat in the old oak tree. 1 little cat said meow, meow. 2 little cats said meow, meow. 3 little cats said meow, meow, as they sat in the old oak tree. What else are we putting in our tree today? Oh, a fire truck, of course. 1 little fire truck said woo. 2 little fire trucks said woo. 3 little fire trucks said woo, as they sat in the old oak tree. What else are we putting in our tree? An elephant. 1 little elephant said stomp, stomp, stomp. 2 little elephants said stomp, stomp, stomp. 3 little elephants said stomp, 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 and they sat in the old oak tree. And the poor old tree said, oh no. The poor old tree said, oh no. The poor old tree said, oh no. All these things are sitting on me. And he fell over. So 1 little owl, great for imagination, expressive language, accept and include. It's also in a minor key. A lot of times we think of children's music as we can march to it, waltz to it, and it sounds happy. Giving our children other songs that are in other tonalities, other keys, and have a different meter feel to it helps them explore and grow up with a wider catalog of music skills instead of just the straight march and waltz. All right, looks like we probably have a few questions, so we'll move on to my final thoughts. So I just want to leave you with a little recap of what we talked about today. The biggest thing, you do not need to be a musician to do music with children. They're going to learn from the engagement. It doesn't matter if you can sing in tune or keep a beat. Active music making is key to getting all the benefits from music. Listening to music certainly has its benefits, but when you are actively making music, you're lighting up the most parts of your brain and getting the most benefits. And research shows that music supports learning across all domains, and there's so much of it. Just do a little Google. It's amazing, and stuff continues to come out all the time. Yeah, music is a pretty amazing thing. So thank you for spending your lunch hour with me today. And it looks like we have some questions.
Hi there, Jessica. Oh my gosh, I had so much fun with you today. I feel like my entire cortisol has come down. And in the small pond, I think I have read, sang, danced to that book literally thousands of times with my own children. So that was so good to see again. So thank you for coming today. We really, really appreciate it. I will lead us off with questions, and Chris, I hope you can help also with anything in the chat. One of my first questions is, do you have any guidance for us from a cultural standpoint on how to incorporate music across different cultures with different families? What does it look like? How is it received differently or the same? Do you have any input on using songs of different languages and incorporating it early for kids? Just wanted to maybe bring in a little bit more some of the cultural pieces as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think it really is about knowing your audience. I always go to the parents first. What songs do you know? What songs from your language do you sing with your children? Bring them in. The repertoire that I use I just didn't do any today, I guess. We have songs in Spanish and Japanese, and there's a lot. And I think it is really important to expose children young to that, not only for those who might speak that language, but those who don't know that language and get to hear it in a song. So yeah, totally, it should have it all in there.
Wonderful, thank you. Chris, do you think we have any questions
We
now?
we have a question, and I have a question too for you, Jessica. Thank you. Just adding my thanks. That was a great presentation. The question is, can you still reap the benefits of music if you're playing an instrument with kids and not singing? Is the singing, the vocal piece of it, really key?
So if you're playing an instrument and the kids aren't singing, or the kids are playing the instrument?
It doesn't specify.
Okay, so if you're playing an instrument, you're actively doing something. There's more. You don't have to be singing to get the benefits. It's all the things that, I mean, your breath, you're mimicking a trumpet, pushing the valves, you're blowing, you are using more of your brain than just listening. It doesn't have to be singing.
So, and I have another question. So our medical providers, when they're giving the books out, and again, they're kind of using the books as a way to bring up the idea of talking together, singing, storytelling, reading, obviously, books with their kids. But do you have, speaking about singing specifically, like, do you have some key messages? What would you tell a medical provider has very little time, right? This is just one part of a well-child visit. So if you could say, in 10 seconds, what would you tell a medical provider to say to a family about singing together at home?
Oh, 10 words. The key points are, they're going to connect with their child. That's bonding. It is supporting so much of their language. But also, I think one of the big things that young parents of young kids struggle, it's hard to be a parent, and letting them know, just to pull a song out to use in a moment of, they won't go in their car seat. Singing, it just changes the mood for everyone. The parent has to take a breath, and the kid usually responds positively, but that music is such a tool over so many ways. And being a parent, those would be my 3 things. It's beneficial to bonding, and use it to their advantage.
Yeah. Thanks. That's super helpful. Let me just check. Gigi, did you have other questions? I'm going to check on the chat and the Q&A.
Yeah, no, I thought that was such a good comment about transitions. I've used transitions for songs for transitions for literally everything. And it does seem to help not only parents, but it's amazing how the kids know the song and they will start singing the song as well. So I just loved that comment. I wonder if you might want to talk with us also a little bit more about neuroatypical kids, and some of the things that you found in working with them with music.
I mean, music is another way in, that often is, it's more accessible than, I'm trying to think, some of the kids that I work with, may not be able to or want to walk to their room, but we can get them to dance to their room. Physical things, but a lot of, mental health. I work a lot in mental health, and how music, again, it goes back to those transitions, that way in, teaching them concepts. If you sit down and try and show them pictures of things when we're, exploring feelings, and we're using the emoji cards of, this is this, and that doesn't necessarily work. When we bring in music, then there's a relationship. There's this song, show me what the song looks like. And then they can express an emotion just through the music. There's so many. Language development is really a big one. That Bitty Bitty Bum song is a really useful one for kids who may be delayed in speech, because it really works on that.
That was great. Thank you.
Yeah, Jessica, I was really struck by the idea of using the songs as sort of what we often say internally is we developmental surveillance, but basically an assessment, because we talk a lot about how our medical providers can use books as an assessment of certain indicators of growth and development, but using the song in that way too really struck me. We have another question from the audience, and it says, do you have any tips or guidance for families on how to listen to music, and if it's best to expose children to a certain type of music, or if it's best to just listen to music that you as a parent like? And that really struck me, because when you're listening to little kids songs all day, sometimes you're like, oh my gosh, I just want to turn on my own music on the radio or whatever. So do you have any tips and guidance for that?
Yeah, certainly let your children see you enjoy the music you like. There's a joy that comes out when we get to listen to our favorite songs, and it's really important that the kids see that. In terms of like putting on a certain genre of music or all music. I mean, there's just a different reaction from a pop song when you put on, Mozart, funk versus ballads, just a good mix of music is really the best thing to expose our children to.
Thank you.
I've found that one of the most challenging pieces about it is that the grown-ups are embarrassed, and especially embarrassed around other grown-ups or in certain situations. I don't find that grandparents are embarrassed at all by it. They're like, this is who I am. But do you have any guidance for maybe those younger parents and how to just get them to embrace this?
I mean, it's just a lot of parent education. It goes back to let your children see you enjoy music, that you don't have to sing in tune and be able to dance to the accurate beat. It doesn't matter. Music is about enjoyment. I think not many people have heard that we're all born musical, and lots of they go, oh, here I am on the bar graph and here's the talented people, with a small percentage, when in fact 84% of the population is born with enough music aptitude to be able to sing in a community choir, play in a community band. But that always gets pushed back because we're so performance consumption based on our music. So just really educating parents on it's okay to do music even if you think it's wrong, because it's not. There's no wrong music. I mean, unless you're taking a test as a music major or something, but you can't do music wrong.
I love that. That was a fabulous answer.
Mm-hmm. So I'm not seeing any other questions in the Q&A. I'm just double checking the chat before we let people go.
For young kids, I would just add one other piece too. I've also found that it can be remarkably helpful at helping kids with memory. That when they're trying to learn something, if they get up, if they sing it, if they dance it, if they feel it physically, it aids with their memory in different ways. And so I appreciated some of the physical aspects that you were talking about in your books.
Yeah, I think another thing for parents doing music or anyone doing music is, you learn a song and you think you do it this one way, but really you can take a song, you can make it a sit and sing, you can do a large movement, you can do vocals. There's multiple ways to do the same song. And because the kids know the song, that repetition, each time you do it a different way, they're learning something more from it because they know it so much.
Yep. And for kids being able to learn another language through music too. My kids are in an immersion school, and I think the entirety of kindergarten was just songs. I mean, that's basically how they started learning the language before they ever really spoke it or, understood it in that way. So yeah. And yes, Liam notes that it helps with adults' memories too. Yeah.
Yes.
There's little tricks you can do with music to help you remember things. Well, I just, we're gonna wrap up and this, I think there was a question about the recording. Yes, it will be sent out to all participants and it will live on our website as well, and it'll be free and open to share. And then Jessica did, send some resources, and I think Liam noted that that will also, those additional resources will be sent out after this event as well. So if you didn't get those already, he will resend them. But just a huge thank you to you, Jessica. I think this was a really fun and engaging way to spend an hour. And I really appreciate like how many practical suggestions and tips and demonstrations you provided. I think we're all more prepared to spend more time in music with our young kids. So thank you.
Thank you for having me. It was very fun.
Thank you. Yeah. And everyone have a good Wednesday and thank you for coming to this webinar.
Thanks,
We'll see you
Jessica.
next
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks.